Sorry lads, I'm not feeling too good. I wonder what's wrong with me. FPL doctor here, and I'm sorry to say, Mr. Bacon Boy, but after analysing your symptoms, which are actually quite differential, I'm going to have to tell you that Calpol is essential, as you have been diagnosed with having over-tinkeritis. That's right, you have been tinkering with your team so much, you are now sick. I like it. Can I at least show off my team, though? Oh yeah, go ahead. Lovely. So this is my FPL GameWeek 1 latest draft. What's up, you sexy sausages? I may have been diagnosed with over-tinkeritis, right? Shout out to FPL Phillips for that one, by the way. That was funny. You should all go check him out and subscribe to him, you cheeky scrubs. Amazing content. But hopefully, we are all good here. But guess what? You're all maybe about to get even better. And you know what? Some of you might even be aroused after I show you this very, very sexy team. It might actually be the sexiest team I've made in FPL history. Like, wow, I just want to make love to it. I really need to get a life, don't I? Yeah. But no messing about. Let's actually get into this brand new 3-4-3 team this time. Much better. With the goal geezer being one that no one has in their team, right? Absolutely no one. As that player is Robert Sanchez. Yes, we love a differential keeper, don't we? Amazing. But nah, it kind of does just feel like salt and pepper seasoning on this one. Like, no spice at all. But I've gone back to him because I can't not. Mainly because I can't shake the fact that Brighton had the third best expected goals conceded out of any team last season, beating the likes of Man United and Liverpool. And are a team I think we can trust over a good run of fixtures, which they have at the start. I do think a backman at Watford or some other keepers could outscore them. They could, because I don't think Sanchez's ceiling is that high, but I also think his floor is one of the highest as well, and I don't really want to be wasting an early transfer on my goalkeeper. So I do think I'll stick with the dirty Sanchez at the back for now. But moving on to the brick wall defence, stronger than the rock after a dirty bulk, oi oi. With the first one of those defenders being Sir Trent Alexander-Arnold. I always feel like I gotta exaggerate his name because it just sounds so posh, man. The crossing fetish man is just unbelievably available in an attacking sense. I like that way of saying it. With a chance of being involved in goals and assists in literally almost every chance Liverpool have. Never mind every game, like he's crazy. So the fact that in his worst season, he still created the most expected assists out of any defender, and is also part of a Liverpool defence, which is good enough, but is also now having the likes of Van Dijk and Gomez coming back. Wow. And also, on top again, playing the likes of Norwich and Burnley in game week 1 and 2. Wow, it's literally the triple whammy, and I'm already getting horny thinking about all of the potential points. There is absolutely no doubt in him there. The next fella to join us is one that has also been teasing me all pre-season and has managed to stay in my team for most of them as well. And that man is the Baguette Man, Luca Digne. Do I call him the Baguette Man just because he's French? Yeah. Does that matter? No, not really. But there is some doubt about how Everton will perform and the tactics they'll go for playing under Rafa, you know. But looking at their pre-season games so far, they do actually seem like a quite attacking team and a team I really think can push forward against anyone. Where in those games, it actually included Digne getting in some very, very good attacking positions. So I don't think he's going to go down from the levels he has been over the years. I also see Everton as a team that have the defensive potential to keep clean sheets against anyone, especially in those easier games. So wouldn't it be an absolute fantastic coincidence that they have a very good run of fixtures at the start of the season? Yes. Oh, how amazing that would be, right? Yeah. So I actually see Digne as a player I could keep long-term throughout the entire season, as I reckon he'll definitely be up there for points. So with that said, I think it's definitely worth going for him at the start. But then the final defender starting here today is one I actually thought of the other day whilst eating some spare ribs. Look at that. As apparently he was actually playing through the last few Euros games with broken ribs. What an absolute madman he is. And that man is Luke Shaw. Well, you know what? I am actually pretty sure of choosing him, you know, even if there is some doubt about him starting off this season. As I see a player here that has a lot more attacking potential than he's been allowed to showcase at the United over the last few years. But I reckon that could change all season. Where I also see the Manchester keeping a very good amount of clean sheets this year, strengthening in defence with Varane coming in, but I also think that'll be even better for Shaw with attacking returns, as I feel like they will play an even higher line, meaning Shaw is more likely to be up the pitch. Lovely. Lovely. So Luke Shaw, you best make sure I'm making the right decisions in choosing you. And that is actually the starting defence done. So if you notice, and you aren't quite falling asleep yet, boring. Now, none of you would ever do that in one of my videos, would you? No, I'm proper cheeky. But this defence does not have any of those 99p McDonald's saviour menu players, you know? No cheap 4.5 million boys in there who could end up being a problem short term, never mind long term as well. All three of these defenders are ones I could even keep all season, right? They have amazing potential, but also could do very well at the start where they're great fixtures as well. But also, because they are at the price they're at, I can go down to whatever amazing cheap defender, maybe out of position player, that we might find later on, but we just don't know of yet. Like, please tell me who the next Stuart Dallas is. I need to know now. So you know what? I am pretty happy with the structure of this defense here. But let's move up the field to the midfield, which starts with a man who built the Egyptian pyramids himself, apparently. He's that good, right? As it's Mo Salah. Sorry. Mo Salah! I gotta give him a shout because he's a great shout in your team. He is probably one of the only players I have not had a single thought about taking him out of my team, because not only is he one of the best goal scorers in the entire league, he also has the sexiest fixtures to start with. So not only am I not doubting about having him, I'm also not doubting that I'm gonna captain him in those first few games as well. It's already locked in. And we say it every year, but he is gonna be the boy to bring us all of the points throughout the season. But then next to him, it's a Man United player, but what Man United player? Could it be a Bruno Fernandes? Could it be a bit more spicy with a Jadon Sancho? Or could it even be a Marcy Forest in Greenwood? Yeah. But I can confirm that the player I have chosen is... Ooh, Bruno! Hey! Yes, going into my team. Not no teams, yeah? I have been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about it in the shower. I've even been thinking about it in my sleep. I think about FPL that much. And I've come to the conclusion that it's just not really worth going without Bruno, really, is it? He was the top point scorer last season for a reason, right? You can't do that by mistake. Which was also in a year he was overworked. So you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if he could even beat that and get to another level this year. As he is the main creative outlet for that team, who also loves to shoot, so has that goal threat as well, whilst also being the penalty taker for one of the most attacking teams in the league, with also an amazing run of fixtures to start with. Yeah, to me, he's arguably on the level of Salah. Like, I really don't want to go without him now. Now that I've really thought about it, no chance of me going without him at the start. Now, I get the argument that you might not want to have him if you don't want to captain him, but myself, I actually think you should flip that on the head and think about that you should captain him in some of the first few weeks. As honestly, in any of his first 4, 5, 6, 7 games, I could probably captain him in all of those, never mind none of them. So for me, he's got to be in. But moving on to the next fellas, who don't quite break the bank like the last few. So yeah. With the first one of them, hopefully leading my team to greatness, right? It could lead us all the way. As it's Leeds United's Brazilian man, Rafinha. He has also basically not moved out of many of my drafts at all, as even though he has bad fixtures to start with, I believe his team, and especially him, could do something against any opponent. And with his fixtures getting better later on as well, you might as well start with him, in my opinion, as he can do it at the start, and then when those fixtures come around, all of the points. Lovely. So no messing about, he is staying in. But moving on to the final starting midfielder for today, and that man is... extra cheeky, right? Now this is where the Nando spice is coming in. Are you ready? As that player is Jared Bowen. Yes, that's right. We love it. Mr. Bowen actually has a very soft spot in my heart. I watched him destroy the championship as a young boy, and I've always said, wow, he's pretty good. But also, I actually share his last name. That's right, I'm exposing myself. My last name isn't actually Bacon, which I guess is a bit, I like it. So we just have this Bowen to Bowen energy, you know? Oh, I love it. But Bowen is a player that did quite well for West Ham last season, scoring 8 goals and 6 assists in quite limited minutes as well. This attacking threat being backed up by the fact he had the 6th highest XG out of players at his price range, with the rest of them either not in the league anymore, like a Pereira, or they just have terrible fixtures to start with, so you don't really want to go with them, like a Saka. So what I see here is a cheap, so worthy of a punt midfielder who is a goal scorer. Like, Buendia's good, yeah, but is he going to get goals which are worth more? Maybe not. Whilst he is also playing for a West Ham team that I reckon can do very, very well, especially in their good run of opening fixtures. With there also being a possibility that Bowen could play out the position up front sometimes, with Antonio either probably going to get injured or rested whilst they have Europa League going around. So yeah, Bowen might not start every game, and he might not play 90 minutes that much, but I honestly think it's very much worth starting the season with him, as I'm just that confident he could score all the goals, and I reckon the Europa League rotation can actually help him be in better positions. Lovely. And that is the start starting midfield done. So we have the two big boys in there who are the guaranteed points, you know, but also the captaincy options. We have a Rafinha, who I just think is a legal value. He's just that good, right? And then finally Bowen, who just brings that higher risk but higher reward factor in this team, whilst also acting as a very good bridge. If anyone similar is starting doing very, very well, right, I can just chuck in whatever midfielder at that price. Lovely. Which is actually the main reason why I've switched from the 4 at the back. I want to go 4 in midfield, because then if a Dele Alli, a Smith Rowe, or whatever is really chirping up, I can just get them in, no problem. So basically what I'm saying is the 4 at the back, it's just not cheeky enough for me. No, we can't be having that. But now we can forward on to the forwards and the fellas that are going to score all of the goals, right? Lovely. Not that the other guys can't score all the goals anyway, but you know. With the first one of them being Ollie Boy, Oliver Watkins. He also hasn't left many drafts on mine, playing those 2 promoted teams in the first 3, along with Newcastle squeezed in the middle of them as well. But the fact that 2 of those games are at home, and the fact he could be on penalties as well, I just think it's an absolute no-brainer to start with him. You just got to, yeah. The next fella, right next to him, is one I actually feel like is being quite overlooked by the masses, right? Even though his ownership is actually a little bit higher. But with how amazingly he finished off last season, how can you not, honestly? As that player is Iheanacho! Now, I do understand why some people don't want to go there, right? As they have a Vardy and a Daka up front now, whilst also probably wanting to fit a fit Harvey Barnes back in their team, so they could even switch up formation and go away from the 2 up top as well. But in my opinion, he was just so important to Leicester's goal scoring at the end of last season, they can't possibly think of not starting him in the first few games, where he will likely play an attacking Wolves team at home in his first game, and then also the sometimes wibbly-wobbly West Ham next, along with a Norwich after that to top it all off. Lovely. Orgasm rate all the way up there. His stats were just so very good last year, and he has that potential of scoring in every game, even if he doesn't start, right? And also plays in a Leicester team that always start the season off quite well under Rodgers. If you remember, they're always up there at the start, right? So who's to say Iheanacho can't get on all of the goals right at the start? No one. I'm saying he will. And then the final starting player we have today, it's Callum Wilson. Yes, that's right. I've gone for him, right? The FPL troll himself has made his way back into my squad. I was very impressed with him last season, where he got quite a few attacking returns right at the start of the season. But now I think he can actually do even better, right? As he has a few more attacking players around him that could provide a lot of assists for him, whilst also him having a nice rest over the summer, so he's ready to go after his injuries. The fact he is also on penalties is a big thing for me, with players like St Maximum and Almiron around that are very capable of winning them as well. Newcastle also played quite attacking football at the end of last season, so if they do try and go for that approach again, which I do think they will, when they play the likes of West Ham at home and then Villa and Southampton in the next 2, I could see them scoring quite a few goals, which is obviously the main reason their main goal scorer is in this team. And that is the forward line done. All 7.5 million fellas, and all ones with great fixtures to target at the start of the season, all of the goals incoming, honestly. The good thing about starting with all of these though, is that if a Tony or a Pookie pick up, then I can just drop one of them down to them. Or even if some of the similar price players in a Jimenez or someone else that comes to the league starts doing well, then I can easily get to them as well. It's quite damn flexible and quite damn easy to move to whatever strikers I want. Apart from Harold Kane, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? But that is actually the team done. Oh wait, the bench, I forgot about that. So the bench looks like this, and I'm saying this because I can't really be asked to go through them all, to be honest. They're all just cheap boys that are likely to start, with also the 4.5 million defender who is currently ailing, could literally be any 4.5 million defender as just an extra bit of cover, right? I could even take the money out to there if I really wanted to, but I do think I'll start with a plain 4.5 million defender there. And that is my latest draft done. I've got the 2 big premium boys in the Salah and Bruno, trustworthy of the returns, but also the captaincy for quite a few weeks. And I've also got great price points around my team with no cheap fellas with low ceiling in there either. I don't want a team with like 2 4.5 million defenders that could do well, but probably not. All of my players could score big boy points, whilst also being very flexible, maybe even more flexible than some of the gymnasts at the Olympics. It's just amazing. I could go to anyone. All things we love to see, which is why I'm loving what I see with this team. I love it. So let me know what all of you think about this team. You might hate it. You might want to roast it in the comments. No problem. You tell me what you think. But thank you all for watching. And remember...
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.